Good morning, YouTube. We're back with this 1100 Virago I've been working on. Now, obviously, I haven't done a project video on this one, but I thought I'd do a little video so you can see all of what I've done. This bike turned up with a totally bastardised wiring loom with bits mostly in that box, and there's actually another whole bike in my other shed that we ended up using for spares. But yeah, this is my mate James's 1100 Virago bobber. Should be now 100% complete and ready for its MOT. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little sit down and point out some of the bits, I like, point out some of the bits I've had to do, which has been quite extensive, to be fair. Yeah, it's a damn shame I can't ride it. I can't do a clutch with this hand, it's just not working. I had to get rid of my 535 for the exact same reason. This 1100 I don't stand at open L being able to ride it, but I have ridden it through its gears on the stand light, obviously. Yeah, this bike came to me obviously as a non-runner. It had no lights, no clocks, no dash, no nothing. All the wiring loom was totally bastardised. Yeah, it was a proper basket case, but it had a good base there to start with, but I had to rip a load of shit out. So number one job, after I spent 3 hours trying to trace problems on the wiring loom and just finding dodgy connection after dodgy connection after dodgy connection after just cut off plugs, and yeah, it was a nightmare. I thought, fuck it. So I ripped it all out. The spares bike had a decent loom in it, exactly the same fucking model, similar year. I think it's a year newer or a year older. So near enough, straight on. Couple of little bits I did have to repair on it because obviously this is an old bike. I think, can't remember what the registration of this one is. No, that's my old one. I think it's an F reg. So it's quite old anyway. I can't remember where I was going with that, but see now, yeah, I'm actually right. I wasn't a fan of his bars, etc., and what have you when he brought it around, but now it's all together. I quite like it. I actually like it a lot. Yeah, well, let's start going through some bits and bobs so you can see what the score is Georgie does. Right, so we'll start up and we'll go down. So it had some weird aftermarket crap thing on that didn't work, and I don't like all that crap. It didn't have the dash on either, it didn't have the headlight on. I can't remember if it had the indicators or it didn't have the indicators, but I might have changed the indicator. Oh yeah, right. So it's had brand new second-hand clocks, brand new second-hand dash, brand new second-hand headlight. I think that actually came out of his shed. All new switches and stuff on the handlebars. All of them are all new. All the lights are new. I remember when I changed all the lights and they're all done. And I wired the rear ones backwards, which I did on my Virago, if everybody remembers. Then we'll get down to wiring loom, all nice, tidy, not a million bodges in it. The fuel tank, the top tank wasn't so bad. That was nice and clean, and yeah, just need a little bit of a swill out. I have, however, had to delete the bottom tank. Now, it does look like it's still in there. That's because I had to make a dummy bottom tank to hold this on, because basically that mounts to the tank. Now, the tank was actually thick with hard, like it was fuel that had gone varnish and then it had gone hard. It was this thick. There was not a chance in hell that I was going to be able to get that thing to work. Not at all. It was, yeah. So we've bypassed all that. So the load new fuel lines. It's got a new battery on it. I've put the single seat on and mounted it for the tank, etc. There's another mount at the back there. Chopped the mud guard. Mud guard needs a little bit of fucking filler and tidying and sanding. I'm not a final finish guy. He was aware of this before we started. Made the mounts for the indicators and stuff for the rear. That's my favourite. I love them. So fitted one of them, obviously. All of this stuff was all removed. All the coils and stuff was all bastardised, and yeah, I had to go through all of them. All these fancy foot controls, they're nice. I quite like them. Forward controls. They weren't on the bike, they were in the box. And all this was all apart. And yeah, there was parts missing in there. I don't know who'd worked on it before James, because all he did was put back what he'd found in it. So I can't be blaming him for it, but fuck me. Right, so to get in there, and first you got to take this start clutch and stuff off and blah blah blah. Right, there's a couple of fucking bolts. There's like one here for the start clutch. It's the bloody arm that pulls it anyway. And what we was having was it was doing a funny not engaging to start sometimes. So we went through pissing about, putting on second-hand starters and second-hand starter clutch, and yeah, I said no, fuck that in the end. I said I'm sick of messing around. Brand new solenoid, brand new starter motor, brand new starter clutch, and he had already bought the upgraded starter gears. So I fucking fitted them all for him. Lovely jubbly. I did notice he was missing the washer from the back of the starter gears in here. He said it wasn't there in the first place, but it had caused some metal shavings. So I obviously cleaned all of that out. I found the correct one on the parts bike in the other shed. Fitted that, lovely jubbly. I got that all back together, got all that sealed up. That was all sweet. Then we tried to run it through its gears, and it just wouldn't select gears at all. It's like, what's going on here? It would hold it in first if you held it in first, and that was it. So back off with the side cover again. We're having a bloody look inside there, and it turns out on the gear selector shaft was actually missing components as well, which we was lucky to find again on the other bike. So we got that all sorted. Lovely jubbly. It now selects gears properly. Obviously I can't ride it, I've only ridden it like sat here just knocking it through the gears on, yeah, because quite stiff, and like, I can do stuff like quick, it's slow on control. What's the problem? Yeah, I just want to be able to ride it, and being as it's not my bike, I don't want to break it. So the tank's mounted. Wants a nice chrome washer there, but they're the only washers I had at the time. The handlebars aren't properly adjusted right, because they have to come off for it to go down the side of my house. So we have to take the bars off, put on a smaller pair of bars to wheel it out down the side of the house. So then put these bars back on. So they're not quite cocked in the right direction, and you know what I mean. But we've got two keys, because I've changed the ignition as well, and I haven't got around to changing the tank top lid. Yeah, so he's got two keys for them on it. I love these. They're good for the money. They do the job. It's Marmite. You love it or you hate it. I absolutely love them. Where are we at now? Oh yeah, the fish, is it, what do you call it? Fishtail exhaust. Not my cup of tea, if I'm honest, but it sounds nice and it suits it, to be fair. So he's picked some nice parts to chuck together. I do approve of it. Just like I say, it's not really my cup of tea. Yeah, I don't know if you can see properly. She's quite a low boy with the bars. That's not really my thing. I'm more into ape hangers, if I'm totally honest. But yeah, she looks apart. It feels comfortable. Legs aren't outstretched too far. Seating position's actually perfect. I was worried about that when I did it, because obviously I had to do it. And and he's a little bit shorter than me, so I had to guess it. But yeah, I had income test fee, yeah, bang on, so all good there. Oh yeah, all the airbox and intake boots and stuff, they was all removed, so they've all had to be refitted, and that, I mean, it's a fiddly ass job, but it's not the end of the bloody world. So yeah, the carbs have had a fucking little clean. It does seem to run all right. We haven't had it like for a proper test run up and down the road yet. Hopefully you can come and do that by this weekend, because then if she's running right, you can take it for its MOT. She does need a bit of a wipe down now. She's been in here a little while we've been messing around getting. Well, we messed around a lot with a starting system, like say with second-hand parts, and that sort of kicked us in the arse. Then I had to give him a bit of time to buy the new bits because he didn't have the cash for like there and then, which is just fair enough, you know what I mean? So she's been in here a little while. But yeah, if you like bobbers and choppers, and I think you'll agree, that's looking quite good. Now, I've probably forgot more than I've told you on loads of this work on this bike. I couldn't honestly tell you because it's been a couple of months. But like I say, I'm always building stuff, whether it's things like this, so I'm always doing something. So don't know what I'm going to be doing next. I haven't got no projects lined up. Got a couple of little cars out the front that's going to need some work to get on an MOT. One of them's my son's, one of them is my daughter's, and then the other one's going to be my wife's apparently. But I bought a mini car and she don't drive it, so it's probably going to end up getting MOT'd and sold, that one. But yeah, they're all going to need some work here and there, doing whatever. Might do little videos on them because they're little cheap cars that other people are going to be driving too, so it might help you fix your own shit. But yeah. Yeah, our 1100 Virago bobber, looking pretty. There you go. I can't take all the credit because it's parts that he purchased. I've just put it together, but it's pretty. I don't normally do pretty. It's pretty, so I'm quite proud of that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, all that crap. If not, I'll catch you later. Cheers.